So today we are going to deal with the chapter that is chemical bonding. So in your previous classes you have learned regarding Clausius-Lewis approach regarding bond formation, right? So how ionic bond formation will takes place. So that was explained by Clausius, as well as Lewis explains in terms of dot structure he has represented valence electron, and he has informed regarding how you are supposed to write covalent bonded structure, in the sense the sharing of electron, how it will take place between the two atoms. That was explained by Lewis. So those theories, it have some of the drawbacks. Okay, so drawbacks are there. So based on the drawbacks also, we have we have followed some of the concepts regarding the formation of bond, how it will take place really in terms of molecules or compounds. So that also we have explained, right? So we have continued with the bond parameters as well as the resonance structure also. So in today's class we will be studying mainly regarding the polarity of bonds. Now what is mean by polarity of bond? Regarding this we have studied in states of matter, right? So now polarity of bond is nothing but, say for example, now I will consider two molecules, atoms. When it will combine and the formation of a molecule will take place, right? So now here hydrogen molecule I will consider. So now here if you write these hydrogen atom, a covalent bond formation will take place, and you know the equal sharing of electron will take place between these atoms. Now I will consider another molecule, that is chlorine molecule. So now here also bond formation will take place between this and the equal distribution of electron. Whatever the number of electron is present for this Cl, the same number of electron this Cl will be having. So we can write here equal number of electrons will be seen between these two atoms. Okay, so these kind of molecules will consider as non-polar molecule, where equal number of electrons are distributed between the atoms. Okay, so that will be considered as non-polar molecule. Now we'll consider another example like hydrochloric acid. Okay, so now here if I consider here H as well as Cl will be present. So between this the bond formation will take place. So now in this case what will happen? Wherever the bond formation will take place, more number of electrons will move towards more electronegative atom. Okay, so in these two atoms, whichever the higher electronegativity atom will be there, towards it most of the electron movement will take place. So now here if you consider hydrogen as well as chlorine, if you consider in this which is more electronegative atom, that is Cl, right, which is having more capacity to gain electrons, so that is Cl, right. So here most of the electron movement will take place towards the Cl, okay, so that this will get partial negative charge and another atom will get partial positive charge. So here electron density will be more in the case of Cl when you compare to hydrogen. So here you will be having more number of electrons than this, right? So we can say this kind of molecule where unequal distribution of electron will take place. Unequal distribution of electron. So these kind of molecules are considered as polar molecules. This will be considered as polar molecules, where we can say unequal distribution of electron. Why? More number of electrons will move towards more electronegative atoms, so electron density will be more in this case, and here it will be having lesser electron density, so that it will get positive charge. Partial positive charge formation takes place, where electron density will be more, you will get partial negative charge. So these kind of molecule will be considered as polar molecule. So we are going to see the polarity in polar molecule. Polarity can be seen in both the cases. Okay, you have already studied in states of matter, but the permanent polarity will be seen in the case of polar molecule. So here you can see permanent polarity. Okay, so polarity will be seen permanently in these kind of molecules. So here it is possible like instantly. Okay, so that you have already studied. So we are going to see the polarity formation in these kind of that charge as well as the distance. So whatever the distance will be there between the charges, which will be represented R. So these magnitude we are going to consider as dipole moment. So the polarity will be measured in terms of dipole moment. So dipole moment representation will be done by mu. Okay. So is equal to charge is nothing but will be represented in terms of Q into distance, that is nothing but radius R. Okay. So here when we write dipole moment, okay, the unit of dipole moment is Debye, which will be represented as capital D. Okay. So Debye will be the unit of dipole moment. So 1 Debye is equal to 3.33564 into 10 to the power minus 30 coulomb meter. So always the polarity will be measured in terms of dipole moment, which has unit of 3.33564 into 10 to the power minus 30 coulomb meter. So this is the term which is used to measure the dipole moment, and always remember polar molecules will have permanent dipole moment. So this concept we will learn with some of the examples. So now polarity of bonds, we will just go with some of the examples. And the vector quantity of dipole moment, as in the sense the direction of dipole moment will be mentioned in terms of arrow mark. For example, now if you consider HCl, okay. So bond formation is there between hydrochloric acid, right? Covalent bond is there. So now here for this, if you are writing dipole moment, so which is more electronegative in nature, that is Cl. So you need to write arrow mark towards Cl. Okay. So this arrow mark should come above Cl, which represents this is more electronegative in nature. Where it will get partial positive charge, here on this arrow you need to write this sign. So the plus sign should be written above the partial charge. Okay, the partial positive charge, which atom will get. So above that you need to write positive charge, and arrow mark here it represents this is more electronegative in nature. Okay, so if you consider this will be having around 1.98 Debye unit. So this will be the dipole moment of hydrochloric acid. So we will go with some of the examples, and these examples are important, which will be asked for 2 or 3 marks, as well as in terms of reasoning kind of question also can be asked over here. Okay, so we will go with the first example, that is water molecule. Okay, so H2O molecule. If you go with H2O molecule, see now the structure of H2O molecule will come in this order. So oxygen will be the central atom. So now here hydrogen will be present. Here hydrogen will be present, right? So now if you are writing the polarity, the dipole moment for water molecule, how we are going to write? So consider these two atoms. Which is more electronegative atom? Oxygen is more electronegative atom. So you are supposed to write arrow marks towards oxygen. Okay, so here positive charge, right? So in the same way, consider these two atoms. Okay, oxygen as well as hydrogen. Which is more electronegative? Obviously oxygen. So your arrow mark should be written in this order, and hydrogen will get positive charge. See, the dipole moment, the arrows are moving in same direction. Okay, so arrows are moving towards the same direction. So due to this reason, the spatial, the dipole moment will arise. Okay, so the sum of this, due to the sum of this dipole moment, okay, so the spatial arrangement will be seen. So this will have some value, dipole moment value will increase because of this. So the dipole moment value for this, if you are writing, so it comes as 6.17 into 10 to the power minus 30 coulomb meter. So this will be the value for water. The dipole moment of water, if you tell us, you need to write this, and you need to write here the sum of this dipole moment, the sum of the vector. So due to that reason, what will happen? Spatial vector will be seen. Okay, spatial moment will be seen. So this will have the value around 6.17 into 10 to the power minus 30 coulomb meter. So this is the value of the dipole moment which is present in water. Okay, so we'll go with the next example, that is beryllium difluoride. charge. Now what will be the dipole moment of this? So beryllium difluoride will have dipole moment that is 0. So this question can be asked, very important over here. Why the dipole moment of beryllium difluoride is 0? The reason is, see, the dipole moment whatever is shown in terms of arrow mark, okay, so that is shown in opposite directions. This will go in this way, right? So here another dipole moment will be shown, in the sense the arrow mark will be shown in another way, okay, so both are moving in opposite direction. Write in terms of sentence, here the moment will be shown in opposite direction. So due to that, what will happen, this will get cancelled with each other because it is moving in opposite direction. So that dipole moment will get cancelled with each other, so that BeF2 will have the dipole moment that is 0. It doesn't have any dipole moment. The value of dipole moment will be 0. Okay. So this is one important question. And another important question, that is boron trifluoride. So in this case, what will happen? Now boron is a single atom, right? So 3 fluorine groups are present. So now here 1 fluorine, another as well as the third. Okay. So now here if you check, consider these two. So where you will, towards which side you will get the arrow mark, okay, which is more electronegative atom? Fluorine. So here towards this, right? So here positive charge. In the same way for this also you can write. So here towards this F. So here it will get positive charge. Again towards F, the positive, the arrow mark, as well as here you will get positive charge. So now in this case what will happen? See, consider these two. Okay, so these two are going in same direction. Okay, so here the movement, the polarity will be seen towards the same direction. So due to this, it is moving in same direction. Due to that reason, the spatial polarity, the dipole moment will be seen in this way. Okay, so now here if you check, the dipole moment of BF3, that is mu, is equal to 0. In this case also we can see the dipole moment is 0. Why? See, I have considered these two and I have replaced the sum of this will arise the dipole moment in this direction. Okay. So in this, it means that the dipole moment is seen in this direction. Plus, now this is remaining. Okay. So that you write. So both are moving in opposite directions, so that it will get cancelled with each other. The dipole moment will be seen over here, that is equal to 0. Okay, I guess you understood the sum of this dipole moment. So spatially arising of dipole moment will be seen in one direction because these are moving towards same direction. Spatially the movement will be, the polarity will be seen in towards this direction. So this is remaining as well as this is remaining. Both will get cancelled with each other. Opposite direction the movement will be seen, so that the dipole moment mu is equal to 0 in the case of BF3. So this also will be asked in exam. So the next example that you are going to consider, that is NH3 and NF3. For reasoning kind of question will be asked. So here it says this ammonia will be having more of polarity when you compare with this. Okay. So NH3 polarity will be more when you consider with NF3. Now we will see why it is so. So now here if you consider NH3, the structure of NH3 comes in this order, N with the 3 hydrogen, and it is having lone pair of electrons over here. Okay, so this will be the structure of NH3 as well as the dipole moment, which will be shown over here, that is 4.90 into 10 to the power minus 30 coulomb meter. Okay, so this is the dipole moment which is shown with NH3 molecule, as well as if we consider NF3, NF3, it is also have lone pair of electron, but the dipole moment if you check, it comes around 0.80 into 10 to the power minus 30 coulomb meter. See, both are having same kind of structure. It is having same number of bond pair of electron, same number of lone pair of electron, but then also dipole moment if we'll check, this will be having lesser than this. Why it is so? The reason. Okay. See now here, consider the dipole moment which is present with NH3 molecule. So in this, which is more electronegative atom? Obviously hydrogen and nitrogen if we will consider. The nitrogen is more electronegative atom, so dipole moment will be seen towards nitrogen. So in this case also dipole moment towards nitrogen. So here in this case also dipole moment towards nitrogen. Okay. The lone pair of electron always it shows the dipole moment towards upper direction. Okay. Lone pair of electron towards upper direction, the dipole moment will be seen. See now here if we consider all the dipole moment, the direction is towards one side. Okay. All the movement will be seen towards one side, so that the value we will get as 2.90 into the power -30 Coulomb meter. So this is the value that we are going to get for this. Okay. Now we will consider NH3. What will happen when you compare with the nitrogen as well as fluorine, which is more electronegative? Obviously F. Okay, fluorine is having more electronegativity, so that dipole moment will be seen towards this. Okay, so here also dipole moment will be seen towards fluorine. So here also the dipole moment will be seen towards fluorine, but lone pair of electron always it shows towards upward. Right? So this is the dipole moment will be shown. Okay. So now here if you check, see these are moving towards one direction, and the lone pair of electron, the dipole moment is towards another direction. So now here if you check, see, due to the sum of this, okay, so due to this the sum of this vector movement, so here the arising of dipole moment will be seen like this, right? Okay, so due to the sum of this, spatially the arising of the dipole moment will be seen, right? So here the dipole moment is moving towards this as well as here towards upward. So this will get cancelled with each other. Okay, so one is moving upward and another is moving downward, right? So both will get cancelled with each other. Now the dipole moment is 0. Now what is remaining? Only this is remaining. Okay, the dipole moment of only this one will be seen. So that is around 0.80 into 10 to the power -30. So only for one, between two atoms you can see the dipole moment, so that is 0.80. So due to this reason, this will be having lesser dipole moment when you compare with this. So here what will happen? The dipole moment will be seen for your bond pair as well as lone pair will be there with the same direction, so that the dipole moment value will increase. So here when you compare with the lone pair of electron, the bond pair as well as lone pair of electron will shows the dipole moment in opposite direction. So due to that reason, the dipole moment will be lesser when you compare with NH3 molecules. So this is the reason that it shows NH3 is having more polarity than NH3. So the next concept that we are reading, that is covalent character in ionic bond, which was explained by Fajjan, and he has given rule as Fajjan's rule. Okay, so he has told whenever the formation of ionic bond formation will take place, then it will be having some of the covalent character, as well as when you see with the covalent bonded molecule, for example hydrogen molecule if you consider, their covalent bond formation will take place, then it will be having slight ionic character. In the same way, whenever the formation of ionic compound will takes place, okay, so ionic bond whenever the formation will takes place, by that time it will be having some character of covalent character. So this was explained by a scientist known as Fajjan, and the rule whatever he has given, so that rule he has mentioned as Fajjan's rule. So according to this scientist, what he has told, whenever the ionic bond formation takes place, so ionic bond formation, how it will takes place? A neutral atom will get discharged as ions, okay, either by losing electron or by gaining electron, and the formation of bond will takes place between the ions will be considered as ionic bond. And you know that there by losing of an electron, your neutral atom will form cation. Okay, by losing of an electron, formation of cation will take place, By gaining of an electron, formation of anion will take place. Okay, formation of anion will take place. Always anion size will be bigger when you compare with the cation. Cation, by losing electron, the size will decrease. Okay, the neutral atom, whatever the size it will be having, right? By losing of an electron, the size of that ion will decrease. The formation of cation in a sense, size will decrease. Okay, so now when you consider a neutral atom which will form an anion. Okay, so now if you consider neutral atom, by gaining one or more electron, by that and the size will increase. So that anion size will be bigger when you compare with your cation. The size of anion will be bigger always. Okay, so now see, now the cation formation will take place as well as anion formation will take place by losing as well as by gaining of electron. Okay, so now between this, whatever the bond formation will take place, ionic bond. Okay, the formation of bond which takes place between this, that will be considered as ionic bond, right? So now here ionic bond formation will take place. Now this scientist is saying, so whenever the formation of ionic bond will take place, there it will be having slight that covalent character. Covalent is nothing but sharing of electron, right? So covalent character is nothing but the sharing of electron will take place between the two atoms will be considered as covalent character. So he is saying whenever ionic bond formation will take place, there it will be having slight covalent character. So how it is possible? See, now what will happen whenever the formation of ionic bond will take place? The cation will come closer to anion. Okay, so the cation will come closer to your anion, and this started disturbing the electron cloud of anion. Okay, the cation electrons started disturbing the electron cloud of anion. Okay, so now here what will happen? There will be like attraction force between the nucleus of cation as well as the electron which is present in anion. So here there it will be having attraction force. Why? This is negative charge and this is positive charge. So attraction will take place between these two. Okay, so the cation nucleus will start attracting the electron which is present in anion. So due to that reason, what will happen? The electron cloud started disturbing. Okay, so the electron cloud started disturbing. So the ability of this cation to disturb the electron cloud of anion is known as polarizing power. Polarizing power. So polarizing power is nothing but the ability of a cation to disturb the anionic electron cloud will be considered as polarizing power. And the anion which will have the tendency to get disturbed. Okay, the anion, ion is there, right? So this will have the tendency to get disturbed by this cation. So that is known as polarizability. This phenomenon is known as polarizability. So polarizing power is nothing but this is the ability of cation to disturb the electron cloud of anion. Okay. So here polarizability is nothing but this is the tendency of anion to get disturbed. Okay. So that will be considered as polarizability. So now we will go with the concept. So now here what will happen, as the cation will come closer to anion, this nucleus started attracting the electron clouds of anion, as well as what will happen here, the repulsion will take place between these two nucleus. Repulsion will take place. Why? Both are having same charge, right? So due to that reason, repulsive force will be seen between this, and attraction force will be seen between this positive and negative charge. Okay. So now, though these, the of ionic bond when takes place, there is a possibility that the sharing of electron can take place. In a sense, covalent character can be seen. Okay, so this is known as Fajun's rule. So he has given some of the concepts, some of the rules he has given. So according to this scientist, he has told if the size of the cation is smaller and larger the size of the anion, by that the covalent character will be more. For example, if I take the example of lithium chloride and sodium chloride, in which case covalent character will be more. See, both will form ionic bond. Okay, so in these two cases, if we consider which character will be having or which compound will be having more of covalent character, see, go through with this. So according to this, if the size of the cation is smaller, okay, and the size of the anion is larger, then the covalent character will be more. So anion which is present in these two, that is same. Larger anion only will be present. Now consider these cation. So which is having smaller size when you compare with the lithium as well as sodium, which is having smaller size? Obviously lithium is having smaller size. So in this case the covalent character will be more. I guess you understood the concept. We'll give another example. I'll give example of lithium iodide and lithium chloride. Okay. So now in this case I have taken same cation, anions are different. So according to this, larger the size of the anion, then the covalent character will be more. So in these two anion, which is having the larger size, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, so as you move down the group, the size will increase. So when you compare with iodine as well as chlorine, which is having larger size, obviously iodine. So here the covalent character will be more. So according to this rule, smaller the size of the cation as well as larger the size of the anion will be having more of covalent character. So next point, greater the charge, greater the covalent character. Greater the charge in a sense what? For example, now you take aluminum chloride as well as magnesium chloride you take. So greater the charge of the cation. Okay, the cation if it is having, see this is same, anion is same. Now we will consider cation. Aluminum is present, here magnesium is present. So what is the charge of aluminum? The charge of aluminum is +3. Right? What is the charge of magnesium? That is +2. So which is having greater charge? Obviously aluminum is having greater charge when you compare with this, right? So the greater the charge, greater the covalent character. So this is having more covalent character than magnesium chloride. Okay. Next, last point, it says that cation of same size and charge with electronic configuration of n-1d to the power n ns0 is more polarizing than the noble gas configuration. In the sense, they are saying in simple term, if I tell d block, okay, d block elements are there, right? So that will be having more polarizing character when you compare with the last group element. In the sense, that is noble gas configuration. So your d block elements are having more of polarizing property when you compare with the noble gas. Why? Here noble gas already it is filled, right? This is stable. So it won't go with the disturbing the electron cloud of another group, right? So here but d orbital, d block elements. So to get the stability, this will form, the bond formation will take place. So due to that reason, the polarizing capacity will be more in the case of d block elements when you compare with your noble gas configuration. So this is regarding the covalent character in ionic bonded compound, which is explained by Fajun's rule.